Hello everyone. Although more people know about immigration with it in the news, I want to make clear that people can't just come into the United States. Many years ago, when you went up to Niagara Falls or drove down to Mexico, many people passed through in both directions without any real issues. Now everyone must have certain documents to do so, as well as pass through a checkpoint. Expanding on that, not everyone has the right to be admitted in the United States. In order to be given permission to enter, you must be admissible. That is what we're going to talk about today. Admissibility, or the right of entry into the United States. And we'll also talk a little bit about the right of re-entry. My name is Raluca Hanea. As an attorney, I provide immigration, estate planning, and family law services for my clients. Nina Clear, my marketing and office manager, is here with me. Thank you for all your likes, shares, and comments as they help others to see our videos.
First, will you tell us what it means to be admissible?
Sure. That means that you meet certain criteria and are allowed to enter.
And even if they have the right documents, no one has the right to or is automatically permitted to enter, right?
Right. Well, U.S. citizens do have the right to enter in the U.S., of course, but they must have a valid, unexpired passport to show that they are citizens. But yes, if you are a foreign national, CBP, which is Customs and Border Protection, the CBP officers must put everyone through an arrival inspection, and even if your documents are in order, you do not have to be admitted.
So what types of documents are acceptable?
So that's a lot of information about this, and we're just going to try to give you, as usual, a very broad perspective. So it depends on when you're coming from and what is your status. If you are coming from Bermuda, Canada, and Mexico, and are a U.S. citizen, you must show your valid U.S. passport. Green card holders from the countries mentioned before, so they are lawful permanent residents, must show their green card. And the Department of State says that they don't need to show a passport. So it's a little bit confusing, but also we know that citizens of Canada, Mexico, Bermuda must present a passport, and some need other documents. So I think the safe bet is for you to have both your green card and your passports with you. You can see that we're gonna put a link here that's gonna say that's gonna give you some more information. And there are other countries for which you don't need a visa, but you do need a valid passport, and that is true if you plan to come to visit the United States for less than 90 days, and they are part of the visa waiver program, and we'll share that link as well.
Okay, so what about if you are coming from countries that aren't in either of those groups, the Western Alliance or the Western Hemisphere Travel Initiative or the Visa Waiver Program groups?
You will need a valid passport and a visa. Keep in mind that your passport must meet certain criteria and requirements, so we recommend it. If you're traveling to the U.S., you should check to ensure that your documents are in order.
And you've mentioned this before in other videos, but your passport must be valid for 6 months when you enter the United States, right?
Yes, for most countries. There are some countries who are part of a 6-month club, and those, they only need, the passport only needs to be valid for the length of your intended stay.
And do green card holders need a valid passport too?
Yes.
What are the things that would make you inadmissible?
I will give you again a broad overview, but if you have questions about your particular situation, you should speak to your local consulate or attorney. If you have certain communicable diseases or have had or have not had certain immunizations, you are barred from entering the U.S. Also, certain criminal behaviors such as prostitution or drugs will keep you from being able to enter the U.S. as well. Also, if you have belonged to certain government groups or participated in any type of human trafficking, you will be kept out of the U.S. If you have been banned from U.S. for any time period, you must apply for a waiver, or you cannot re-enter until the time your ban is gone.
And is there anything that would keep you from getting a visa?
Yes, they are similar to those that would make you inadmissible, but there is one big one we want everyone to be aware of. When you try to enter the U.S. on a non-immigrant visa, if the Border Patrol agent thinks you are not going to go back to your country, you will be denied entry. That is actually the most common reason to deny entry, the immigrant intent.
You mentioned you would talk about re-entry. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. If you have been in the U.S. as a visa or green card holder, you may leave and then you want to come back, but just because you were allowed in before doesn't mean you're automatically allowed back again.
And what would keep you from being allowed back in?
Any of the same things that we mentioned that would have barred you from entering the first time, including certain crimes or health issues. Also, if you have been made to leave the U.S., you usually have a certain period of time before you can re-enter, called a ban. Finally, if you are a green card holder and have been gone for over a year, you may be considered to have abandoned your green card.
And is there anything you can do if you are considered to have abandoned your green card, but you didn't want to abandon it?
If you know that you are going to be gone for over a year before you leave the United States, you should apply for a reentry permit. It's the form I-131. If you are kept out of the United States due to very limited emergency circumstances, like a medical emergency, you may be able to apply for a waiver to allow you back in.
And is a re-entry permit different than advance parole?
Yes, advance parole is for people who have not yet gotten their green card but have applied for it. And it was available in the past for DACA recipients but is no longer. A reentry permit is for someone who has a permanent green card but knows they will be outside of the U.S. for over a year and doesn't want to give up their green card. One thing we want people to keep in mind for a reentry permit, when you apply for citizenship, which we encourage everyone to do as soon as you qualify, you must have had a physical residency and continuous presence in the United States. So getting a reentry permit does not take away those requirements. So if you are outside the United States for over a certain time, you will have to put off obtaining your citizenship until you reach these requirements. Thank you everyone for watching. We really appreciate all your likes and comments. Please reach out to us with questions about your immigration case. We are always here to help. See you soon.